Another day, another thought. Welcome all to another edition of the Double Thought Show. Hope everyone is doing well. As you guys know, I'm RJ together with my co-host KR. KR, what's up, man?
Life is going well, man. Mom is giving me productivity awards for cleaning up my room these days. Life is going good, man. That's all I'll say.
Well, just hanging there. You might even get an allowance raise, but okay.
Things are up.
Yeah. Hey, thanks to everyone that's watching this pre-recorded live show, as well as those watching the rebroadcast. We hope you enjoy today's show.
Yes, guys. Yes, guys. Just remember to follow us on all socials, Instagram, Facebook. Remember to like this live video you're watching. Or if you're watching the rebroadcast, just please press on the like button. So basically, you help us with the algorithm. The
Yeah,
more likes we get, the more recommendations to other people. Also, comment in the post a comment. Watch the video. Tell us what you think. Share
yeah,
your thoughts, man. We are about sharing thoughts over here. And
yeah.
through sharing thoughts, we want to spread the word.
The gospel.
The gospel, yes, yes. Without asking for any. Well, anyway, let's continue.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one.
Wait a minute. Wait.
They
Wait
all
a
look
minute.
alike. They all look alike. Yeah, but guys, if you like the what we're talking about, like the show, like the and also comment, man. It helps us as well. And we can also see what you guys are interested in. Share your thoughts, and then we can maybe do a follow-up show on what you guys want to talk about. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Very
We're trying,
important.
yes, we're trying to get our subs up. Let's go in the right direction. It's going the right direction. But I mean, it can always be better, you know? And of course, share the videos with your friends, family, the police.
Wait a wait. KR, we need to talk about these things first.
Well, you can share the police. Why not?
I guess so.
There's nothing wrong. There's
No,
wrong.
but I'm just saying run it by me first. Let's talk about
Run
it
by
because
the lawyer. The lawyer getting involved. It's basically the same with this show. We're gonna talk about this later. Lawyers always try to block people for getting ahead. Anyway, guys, don't forget to distract your enemies with the video so you can strike them out with the chair. But all what I just said falls under the disclaimer, which Algie is gonna share with us right now.
yes. Before we proceed any further, we want to disclose our usual disclaimer. Remember that the views and opinions that we show in the articles and videos that we react to on our channel do not necessarily reflect the thoughts and opinions of KR, myself, nor this channel. Remember that all topics that we discuss for entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised, and all commentary we make is alleged because we don't know anything around here. Contrary to other channels will tell you we know everything. Here we tell you
We're
we know
dumb.
nothing. So
We are stupid, but we're not dumb.
yeah. Well, shout out speaking
Shout out to who?
is you stupid or is you dumb? Well,
No,
we're
no.
stupid, not dumb.
Uh,
Hey, furthermore, guys, remember that for the purpose of this show, we do not function as any kind of advisor. So if you are looking for a legal advisor, financial advisor, life advisor, or any kind of advisor, we strongly urge you to seek the assistance of the respective professional that can provide you with the support and assistance that you require.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Someone asked me earlier this week, R- RJ, KR, why are you guys saying the disclaimer? Why it's also in the description?
Yes.
I had to tell him, and maybe I should run this by you
You
before.
had, oh my God.
I told him that's for the people who cannot read.
I knew you were going I knew you were going to say that.
No
Well,
disrespect to anyone who cannot read. Guys, we are here for you. That's why we are reading it. So you might miss it. You might read selective reading, or as we did a clip on the previous show or 2 shows ago about people being selectively outraged. So that's basically the reason for it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, as we always say at the Double Thought Show,
What do we say?
what do we say? We always say, Bora! Oh man, not everything is going as it should. It is what it is.
But yeah, you just keep going.
You gotta keep going, guys. Well, not always.
Sometimes.
By going might lead to a charge, as we see with Michael Irving, and the previous show we talked about Brett Favre. Anyway, guys, you gotta know when to stop and just give it up, man. Today and today's show, our team will be our Michael Irvin and Marriott entering a legal game that will ultimately destroy, maybe, who knows, allegedly, Marriott's brand. Is Marriott going down a path that will leave them looking even crazier if they just give it up early?
Yeah.
RJ, should I run that past you or by you or?
I mean, doesn't matter anymore at this point.
So I guess you have nothing to say.
I have nothing to say, man. Let's go. Let's
Okay,
continue.
Let's continue, guys. Guys,
Where do we begin?
yes. So where do we begin? I think we can begin where we ended last show. Right? If you guys don't know, we did a previous show on the Michael Irving. Well, we did actually 2 shows already on
Did we-
Michael Irving.
Did we do 2 shows? Wow.
Yes, because we did the original one when the problem started
Yeah.
during the Super Bowl week,
Super Bowl week. Yeah, yeah.
and after that we did
That's true.
solo
That's
show.
true.
So
That's true. Yeah.
time flies really fast, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Before you know, you're already 10 shows in, and Michael might not get this 100 million in 10 shows, but let's see what happens. So we had the original show where we presented the what happened, and then we continued on last week. We did a show on Michael getting a big win.
Yeah.
And that big win was, of course, the judge ordering Marriott to hand over the video of the incident. Anything you want to say about that, RJ?
No, well, all that I can say is that I thought that in today's show we would talk about the videos. I never thought I thought that in today's show, in my mind, because in my mind, it was pretty clear what Marriott had to do. They started or they Irvin and his team initiated various court proceedings because of the the because of the fact that Marriott didn't want to hand over or turn over the footage voluntarily, and Marriott tried everything possible, or at least that's what I thought, to not do it. In the last show, we read the article, or at least the judgment of the court order, and the court order is pretty clear. Marriott was to was to turn over the footage on the 7th of March at, let me see if I'm not mistaken, at 5 o'clock,
5 o'clock.
5
Right.
p.m.
5 p.m. Yeah.
And I thought that for sure we would have it. And I remember on the 7th, later that night, or maybe it was the next day, it was announced that Michael Irvin would hold a press conference. So I thought that we would look at the video, but that was a surprise. Apparently, Marriott still thinks that it has a chance to not hand over the video, or at least turn it over to the public.
Yeah. Or even to the people, the person who's being accused of the
Yeah.
incident,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to hand it over to the public. Just the guy is still trying to he's asking himself, what am I being accused of?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see later in the show why Marriott didn't turn over the video. So it didn't send the video. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. KR?
Yeah, don't trip yet. Don't trip. Okay.
I've been tripping.
Yes, so there are a lot of articles released, as RJ said. There was this press conference after the footage was not handed over. A copy of the footage was not handed over. Not even a distorted, or let's say with
Redacted, yeah.
redacted
Footage.
the people in it. Yeah, people
Yeah.
in it being redacted, because that was one of the arguments by Marriott or Marriott's lawyers, that
Yeah.
it wanted to protect the privacy of the employee
Yeah.
and its visitors.
Yeah.
My
Well,
thing,
I think I read somewhere that it almost seems as though it's Marriott that's calling the shots, and the lawyers are trying to, let's say, trying to represent their clients'
the best they can.
stance and point. Yeah, the best they can. Yeah, because and sometimes that's
Do the lawyers sometimes jump off ship when the ship is sinking, or do they keep going down with the ship?
Yeah, sometimes you jump off ship for sure if there's a difference in. So I always say this: there is a thin line between what the lawyer can do despite not believing in it to represent his client, and doing something that the lawyer does not stand behind. So I always say that as a lawyer, the lawyer is not the one that's making the executive decision. That's the client. The
But
lawyer
it
is
You don't want-
advising.
You don't. As a client, I would say usually you have to tell the lawyer what you want and make sure the lawyer performs what you want him to do, right?
Well, actually, the lawyer is the one. The lawyer is is the specialist.
Mhm.
So the lawyer is the one that should be. He's the one that has the lead. The client. So this is how I look at it. The client is a client. You tell the lawyer what you want, and the lawyer will tell the client whether what he's saying is correct or incorrect, or whether he has a chance or does not have a chance. And the client will decide what need to decide. Let's say what strategy to use, right? And some lawyers, for example, there are certain things that I as a lawyer won't do. And disclaimer, guys, I always say this: I'm not a U.S. lawyer, not specialized in U.S. law. So, but this just counts for lawyers in general. Sometimes the client wants something that, as a lawyer, you say, "Hey, you know what you're saying? I can argument, I can substantiate it with evidence or with arguments, etc. But the argument is weak. So I can tell the client that, but still try to fight. But it's my duty to manage the expectations, right? But if the client is requesting something that is illegal, or at least that I as a lawyer regard as illegal or immoral or perhaps even unethical, then I would say, you know what, I cannot represent you. That doesn't mean that what you're saying is bad or whatever, because there might be a lawyer out there that does not find what you're doing to be illegal, unethical, or immoral. And that's a rather personal thing. But why is it important to distance yourself as a lawyer? Because if you don't believe in an argument, how can you represent your client? And if your client doesn't trust your advice, why should you represent the client? Are you the best lawyer for that particular client? So that's a judgment. That's a So in that sense, yes, a lawyer can say, you know, I
I'm
don't think
good.
we're a good match.
Find yourself a Saul Goodman.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, guys, heartbreaking, man. Michael Irving's attorney claims Marriott footage shows no misconduct between his client and the accuser. As witnesses say, encounter with woman was friendly. Another article. Witness. Michael Irving's encounter with woman was friendly. And the third one, Michael Irving wipes tears from his eyes while listening to witness defend him against nonsense claims that resulted him in being sent home from the Super Bowl as he seeks 100 million in damages. Seems telling, but we will look at the footage ourselves because here at
The
the
of the press conference, or do you have the footage? Do you have
well,
the married footage?
I have my connection at Marriott. Someone who might be jumping off the ship. That's why I asked you the question. No, I'm just kidding. Guys. I'm just kidding. Where we have the footage of the press conference where this all has been discussed. So we will take a look at it. It's I think it's almost 20 minutes. So we will try to summarize a couple of parts, skip a couple of parts,
Yeah.
and of course, I mean, take a look at the body language of Michael and its lawyers to see whether they are speaking the truth or whether they are flim-flamming, trying to finesse their way up to 100 million.
Yeah, let's see.
It's the worst way to finesse, though, but I guess some people are willing to do anything for a buck.
Yeah, yeah.
Michael might not be one of them. in this case. Let's take a look at the video.
I mean, from what I know about microphones, I may not know much, but.
All right, we good? Everybody? First of all, thank you guys for coming. Michael has obviously not come out publicly about this till now. I think this is a story that deserves telling, and I want to present it kind of in three parts to y'all. First, going to be the background of what happened. Second is going to be about the video that you've all heard so much about. And then the third part is going to be our attempts to deal with Marriott about this incident and how do we correct it. Michael traveled to Phoenix on February 5th to cover the Super Bowl and related.
With this part, we will skip this part. I'll just show you guys the intro so you guys have an idea for what they all are going to discuss. But we are going to skip this part because we talked about this in previous show as well.
Yeah.
And save us a bit of time. To summarize, basically what he's going to tell you guys, if you watch the clip yourself, Michael was of course in Arizona because of the Super Bowl. He came back he was staying at the Marriott. Marriott is an NFL sponsor of 139 million. Anyway, they are an official sponsor. He was staying at the hotel. He was in the bar area when a couple of guys who were there spotted him. They also interviewed those guys after they asked him a couple of questions. They are official witnesses, which I think is kind of a crazy thing to actually have the witnesses. They are playing this out in the public, not in the court case. They're trying to get Michael exonerated as soon as they, in the public eye at least, as soon as they can, because these witnesses are telling the story up in the press conference. Usually you do this in court, right, RJ?
Yeah. I did find it a bit unusual for them to be so open about it. I don't recall or at least no, let me formulate it differently. This is a very peculiar case. It's not your everyday case. It's a case that's being played out in the public eye. Michael Irvin is a public figure. Michael Irvin did get his ban in public. He was banned from participating or at least joining the NFL Super Bowl team. Super Bowl team. It's the Super Bowl weekend.
Like broadcast team.
Broadcast team, yeah, the broadcast team. So everything played out in public. And I think the strategy of the lawyers and Irvin is to get everything out in public as soon as possible, because you see how Marriott is rolling. Marriott wants to keep everything
On the wraps.
on the wraps, wants to keep everything a secret, doesn't want the video to come out, because if it comes out, they lose all the leverage. They know that Michael wants to clear his name as soon as possible. By showing the video, and we're gonna listen in a bit what the video, or at least what the lawyers say about the video, what was on the footage. If that becomes public, people can form their opinions immediately. So they wouldn't need to wait until the end of a court case to clear his name, or at least to allow him to move different, perhaps start joining shows. Whereas if that is not the case, if Marriott can keep the video on the wraps, and knowing that Michael wants to end, or at least wants to continue working as soon as possible, they know that Michael would be more inclined in a negotiation to accept a lower plea deal, or not a plea deal, a lower settlement deal.
Mm.
So that's the reason why I believe Marriott is stalling, using all kind of stalling tactics it can use, because I think the Marriott is thinking as well. Well, we screwed we screwed it already. It's already screwed. So we screwed
Ma-
ourselves over. So is if we release it now or in 2 weeks, doesn't matter. So let's just try a Hail Mary, try everything, try everything, every play in our playbook. Maybe grab the opponent's playbook and try some of their plays as well. But I mean, it can't get any better if I mean it's getting worse, but it's already bad. It's already looking bad for Marriott.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, yeah. So basically, what they're gonna tell in the first part is what happened. So he was there in Arizona for the Super Bowl week, and by chance, those fans saw him. They wanted to take a picture, which is kind of remarkable because they tell the story of him understanding the environment. He said it's not a good look if I take a picture in the bar area. Let's take a picture in the lobby.
Yeah,
So he's already thinking about everything,
yeah,
actually, in this case.
yeah,
Perception.
yeah. He's not woke. He's awake.
Well, maybe that's the new term for people who are actually in tune.
Yeah,
You're not woke, you're awake.
I'm
If you're
awake.
woke, you're sleeping.
Yeah. So it's maybe you're right. No, no, not maybe you're right. I think you're making a very good point, because well, we'll see what the people say, but what the witnesses say about that evening, but he is. You can conclude from the stories and the statements that he was very much aware, or at least he is very much aware of the fact that he is a public figure, that he needs to uphold to certain standards,
Mhm.
which is why he said, you know what, guys, you're fans, I'm tired, but you want to take pictures? Let's do it outside. I don't want to do it inside because it would seem unprofessional.
Which is kind of crazy because not according to Marriott, a couple of moments later, you
Yeah,
violated.
yeah, it's crazy.
If you think about it. So he just tells these guys, you're in a bar, I'm in a bar, let's take a picture in the lobby because it's a better look for everyone in the situation. Then he turns around and violates an employee. I don't.
Yeah, it's weird. But I'm and now, before we continue, just one last remark. They did not disclose, of course, who the employee is, or the
Mhm.
married employee is that allegedly made the claim. So we do know that it's a woman. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but I haven't heard from Amber Heard in a while. Word on
Where are you going? Did you
word.
run this by the lawyers? Where you're going right now?
I run past the lawyers to come straight to the show.
Tell me.
Word on the street is, and in the newspaper, that
You're not going.
that Amber Heard can't get a job and needs to pay Johnny Depp a lot of money. So who knows whether she's moonlighting as a married front desk.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, guys, allegedly. This is hypothetically
Hypothetically, this is a theory.
a conspiracy theory. Remember, guys, we don't know anything.
We don't-
Anything. So
Oh, my
Please, please let us know in
Oh,
the comments
man.
below.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is crazy. I didn't expect you to go that route.
I haven't
man.
heard. I haven't
I'm
heard
just here.
anything from Emirates.
Someone is trying to cake
But it,
up. That's for sure.
but it does fit
Trying
the
to-
same. It does. The case seems to have the same characteristics.
Okay, let's continue with
It's gonna make
with
another.
the, with the press conference because otherwise we can dwell. Maybe anyway,
Let's go.
guys. Let's see what the lawyer has to say about the whole situation.
I can't hear it.
Of course, you cannot hear it. Can you hear it now?
Not
Yes.
something that we found through an investigator. These witnesses called in to a show hosted by a guy named Tony Bruno. And Tony Bruno
He's talking in this case about the witnesses. So the witnesses already gave a witness statement. So this is the second time they're gonna do the witness statement, which I think RJ already pointed out. It's quite remarkable.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time this reaches the court and this becomes a court case, we can probably recite word by word what they're gonna say already, like a
Word for word, bar for bar. Shout out the soldier. No, but
Soldier.
it's but actually, I think that at least because we don't know whether there are more witnesses, but these two witnesses already went on a show, radio show apparently, or some kind of show, to talk about the incident. So the information is already public. So I think that's why they're also asking the questions publicly to the witnesses in the press conference that you're showing, because they already went public with their statements. So it's not a secret.
called us, I think kids, and I sick with what happened to Michael. You'll see on the video these gentlemen, but these guys and some other eyewitnesses and other people that have come forward asked Michael to take a picture with them. He said, "I'm not going to take a picture in a bar. It's a bad look, but I'll go out by the front door of the lobby and take pictures with you." This is where the video starts that I have seen. And so that I can lay the scene out for you. The video it appears to be.
And we're getting a video description by the lawyer because Marriott was like, "I don't care what the judge says. I'm the boss over here. This is my footage. If you want to see it, you come to me. I'm not going to hand you any copies."
Give me a break.
Yeah, man.
What a time. What a time. People destroy their own brand willingly.
Well, it's not their brand, because I bet you none of the people that made the decisions that night carry the Marriott last name or are any kind of owners. So
I don't know if that's for you or for Mary. Let's continue with the description from the lawyer, what he saw, because he was invited to like I said, he was invited to view, or as the lawyers of Marriott said, inspect the video. We're gonna show you later what they are claiming. He's allowed to inspect the video, even though the judge told them to hand over the footage.
yeah.
From behind the front desk of the hotel. It's certainly a desk. It might be the concierge desk. Facing out this way, where on this side is the entrance to the hotel, main entrance and lobby. And on this side is the lobby bar. There's nothing separating them wall-wise to the lobby bar. It's just the hardwood floor versus the carpet on this side. and then there's a big pole kind of right in the middle. When you first see the video, Michael is outside.
Let it go.
Okay, I'll follow the. I'll let it go. I'll let it.
Okay. I know you far too well. Man.
Oh, man,
Yo.
let's continue. Let's continue with this one.
Taking pictures as these guys will describe to you, and the
Yo.
accuser here is these guys.
You want to say something?
Maybe Amber Heard was also moonlighting.
No, you told me to let it go, and now you're trying to step on my joke. Come on, man, dude. Now you're basically blocking me from putting my stuff out, so you could cloud off that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's continue, man.
Let's continue. Let's continue.
When you
Allegedly.
first see the video, Michael is outside taking pictures as these guys will describe to you, and the accuser here is behind the front desk of the hotel. The accuser then, as she sees Michael coming back, walks out from behind the front desk, and it appears to me to be approaching Michael and his group. Michael's group's coming in this way. Michael.
This is lawyer talk, man. You clearly see on the footage as she's walking to them, and he says, "It appears to me." What are we talking about? He's a lawyer.
It's an interpretation. Because, yeah,
No, maybe she was walking outside, taking a break.
as a lawyer, but as a lawyer, you definitely change the way you speak. Even if you're not in, if in private life, you just talk like that. It seems to me like,
Seems to me
Sounds
like
like-
the pole.
yeah.
Doesn't clearly, and no one in the group notices her yet. Unfortunately, the exact moment that they meet is behind the pole. So you can't.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Oh no, Michael! Don't do this, man. Stay away from the pole.
Oh my God.
I've seen him do it.
Let's continue.
Let's continue. Yo.
Exactly tell who talked to who, but I believe the witnesses will clean that up for us. They both meet and then they walk to where they're in the middle of the lobby. And remember, this is a public lobby with tons of people going back and forth. When they first greet each other, they shake hands and Michael starts to talk to her. Michael, in this interaction, touches her a sum total of 4 times. He shakes her hand at the beginning. He shakes her hand at the end. He one time touches her on the elbow, as many of you who have interviewed Michael knows he does when he talks, for a very brief moment. And one other time, he buckles over laughing, and he kind of brushes her with his hand against her other elbow. That is it. She clearly never acts upset. She doesn't back away from Michael. She doesn't act like there's any kind of problems going on there at all.
I think we talked about this in the previous show.
You
The
did.
possibility of maybe he touching her in that sentence. We made a joke about him touching her on her back.
Yeah.
But that's what I was suspecting. That's what happened. At least a touch, some way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you did say it. So when the moment I heard the press conference, I immediately recalled you saying that we don't know yet of course we don't know yet what happened, but I think you even asked me, RJ, do you think that they, that he perhaps touched her on her back? Maybe it was too low or something like that. And yeah,
Mi-
behold.
Michael Irving is a very amicable guy. He's someone who's jolly. He's
Yeah,
people who's jolly, who's always trying to touch people. He
yeah.
didn't touch her inappropriately the way the driver, the lawyer. I'm calling him a driver. The lawyer described. So he touched the on her hand,
Maybe, maybe that
forearm.
has, maybe that has some, maybe the fact that you refer to him as a driver. It's just like, lawyers have their talks. Maybe you're recalling your previous profession.
Never know, man.
Yeah.
Getaway cars. Allegedly.
So
Uh,
all the attempt I made to keep keep the joke fake, and you
I'm,
have to clarify it.
I'm not like Marriott. I'm not keeping. Put myself out there
All right, all right.
anyway. So basically, what we are seeing now is that he has touched her, forearm, elbow. So kind of the way the and I'm gonna do the lawyer stuff. The way the lawyer describes it, it's kind of non-sexual. Oh, maybe
Yeah.
I should never use that word, but
Yeah, no, yeah, he did. But so to say, let's say you touch somebody, it either means, let's say in day-to-day life, when we say I didn't touch, if I mean, it can be either I hit you or I um touch you inappropriately. But in this case, you're saying that there was, and the lawyer is saying as well, that from the videos he saw, from the footage he saw, it appeared that there was contact 4 times. One time, Irvin had his hand on her back. He didn't say that?
it was not on her back. It said
Was it?
forearm, right? Let
Yeah,
me go.
shoulder. It was the shoulder, I think.
Shoulder,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. You're right. I thought,
No, that was
yeah,
me who said in the previous show about back. Let me.
Unfortunately, the exact
Let's
moment
replay
that
that.
we meet is behind the pole. So you can't exactly tell who talked to who, but I believe the witnesses will clean that up for us. They both meet and then they walk to where they're in the middle of the lobby. And remember, this is a public lobby with tons of people going back and forth. When they first greet each other, they shake hands and Michael starts to talk to her. Michael, in this interaction, touches her a sum total of 4 times. He shakes her hand at the beginning. He shakes her hand at the end. He one time touches her on the elbow, as many of you who have interviewed Michael knows he does when he talks.
People's elbow.
A very brief moment. And one other time, he buckles over laughing, and he kind of brushes her with his hand against her other elbow.
now I know. Now I know why I thought that that Irvin touched her back. Go back and see. Okay, go back. Play the video on mute and see the gesture. I'm just saying. Play the video on. Just amuse me. Play the video on mute.
Okay, give me a second. Let me share the video with
Knows he
everyone.
does when he talks.
Let me put it on mute.
And let's see the gesture. He's saying here, shake her hand. Is that where he's talking about the 4 times?
Can you hear it?
No, I can't. You need to go where he, yeah, 4 times, yeah. Look at his gesture. That's why I thought. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like he touched, he shaked he shaked her hand. He shaked her hand. But yeah, I get it. So 2 handshakes and One,
one elbow and
two,
one
el-
forearm, kind of. Two elbows.
two
Yeah,
elbows, two elbows, two elbows. Yeah. Nothing there.
Nothing
But
there, man.
maybe, but in her defense, and I'm just playing devil's advocate.
You're the other lawyer. Let's put it.
Maybe because nowadays you need to it is required or expected from you to try to mind read to see how someone feels, how someone identifies as, etc. What someone identifies. Maybe the Marriott employee identifies as someone that has erogenous zones on her elbows. And Michael turned
Not knowing.
not knowing, Michael being Michael, just a jolly person that he is, aroused her. I mean, let me just put it like this. That's not the weirdest thing I've heard this week. I'm not even
What is the weirdest tummy tuck for? Anyways, guys, we're not gonna talk about that one. Yeah. So basically, what we're getting here is that I think RG is pointing it out. It doesn't seem. It seems like a very and the lawyer as well. Seems like a very average interaction between the two. He laughs a bit. She makes jokes at him. Maybe he wasn't supposed to laugh at those jokes. She felt I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. No one knows what happened. Actually, we just are listening to this description from the lawyer.
Yeah.
But at the end, the man wasn't allowed to be part of the broadcast team, as pointed out by Yarji in the beginning of the show, because of the statements made by this employee.
Yeah. It's a shame. A real shame. Maybe KR. Oh yeah. So we're gonna play more of the lawyer, or do you want to show the Irvin's reaction?
I'm gonna play the Irving's reaction now.
Alright.
Can you hear anything? No, right?
No, not yet. But in the meantime, guys, remember to like the video, rate it by pressing the like button. Remember to share the video as well with your friends. Share with your family. We heard today apparently you should share it with the police, according to KR. But don't forget to share it as well with
The enemy.
the enemy. Distract the enemy with the video so you can
Don't strike out though. Swing.
yeah. Remember to check us out on our socials as well, Facebook and Instagram at Double Thought Show, where we drop other different kind of Double Thought Show content. And remember, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe as well. It really, really, really helps us. It helps the channel grow. It helps us to reach our monetization goal faster. And yeah, after that, it's when we get the channel monetized, we can invest in more things to make even better quality videos. So remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's continue.
Let's continue indeed. Talking about striking out. WBC is up now, guys. Go watch people strike out for real, for real. Let's take a look at the statement by Michael himself during the interview, the press conference.
I want to start by saying I appreciate all the support that I've gotten from everybody, from people and from friends. And I'm not talking about just in this moment. I'm talking about over the years. People that have followed me my whole career, the peaks, and certainly through the valleys. But this sickens me. This sickens me. Because in this great country, this takes me back to a time where a white man would accuse a white woman would accuse a black man of something. And they would take a bunch of guys that were above the law, run in the barn, put a rope around his foot and drag him through the mud and hang him by the tree. Not a thought.
Quite a wild statement right there.
Yeah, very graphic. Yeah.
He's referring to Emmett Till.
Yeah. And it's basically the same thing, only different.
It's the
It's
concept.
the same
It's the
concept.
concept. I heard people saying this is extreme, but ask yourself, did people actually change, or is the new cancel culture a different way of
Yeah.
mobbing people? It's the
Yeah.
same, because as cancel culture, usually they trial and execute right away. There is no way for you to respond.
Yeah. They say that there's nothing new under the sun. So
It's
Th-
just
that's it.
uniform.
yeah, it just changes the way the concept gets expressed changes, but conceptually it stays the same.
They take away your livelihood, leading you to basically living but still being not able to provide for you and your family.
Yeah. Guilty until proven innocent. That's the other way around. But that's what cancel culture is basically. You're
Yeah.
guilty before proven innocent.
You don't even have a chance. I'm gonna say the word. Let's hang him. Why he's
Yeah.
standing there?
Yeah. It's a shame, real shame.
Yeah, but yeah, let's continue.
About what would happen, not an investigation, not after repeated attempts of people trying to go and say, guys, here's what really happened. Here is what really happened. Here are witnesses that'll say this. Here's witnesses that'll say that. And so we don't want to hear. We do not want to hear. How can I defend myself if I don't even know what I'm defending myself against? They asked me, they said, do you remember this girl you met in the lobby? I work and I live in hotels. I stay in hotels all year long from August to September. I meet people every day walking in and out of a lobby. I couldn't even tell you what she looked like. I don't know. I don't even know who I'm talking about when I'm talking about I'm supposed to do something. This just blows my mind that in 2020.
When you're a public figure, you meet a lot of people. So I think he's right on this part. You see people left and right, you take pictures with them. You don't even remember. You might be taking a picture with the biggest dealer ever, a camping. You
Yeah.
didn't even know. Tomorrow is another
Pointing.
day. Huh?
Pointing at the dealer.
He's the man. He's the man. Buy it from him.
Dealer will put it on his
Put
on
it on
his
his package. Endorsed. Guys, hey, that's the sad thing, man. Pictures don't tell any story actually, but
no.
I think with all being said, I think the thing that might have actually saved him is him getting those guys to take a picture in the lobby, because he has by mistake he created a lot of witnesses.
Yeah. Unintentionally.
Unintentionally.
Yeah.
23, we still dragging and hanging brothers by a tree.
Oh,
That
man.
blows
Oh,
my
man.
mind that I have no
Oh, man.
opportunity to defend. I don't even know what I'm defending. And absolutely, to not listen to the court. Marriott is above the law because I still haven't seen this tape. I haven't seen this tape. I want to see what I'm being accused of, why I had put my whole life on hold, why my family had to endure it. If I did something wrong, I'll suffer the consequences of me doing something wrong. But if you did something wrong, you meaning them, then they should suffer the consequences of what they did wrong. It's just sickening.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, yeah. And the lawyer was like, thank you, Michael.
Don't continue talking. Don't put us in a.
We've seen you on first take. Don't get emotional.
Don't get too excited. But he gets emotional at the end, and that's the last part we're going to look at.
Yeah.
Right before the lawyer basically closes out the press conference, Michael wants to add
One last.
one last word to the.
Questions if you want to. We're not going to take questions based on the fact that we still have this current lawsuit going on. So I appreciate everybody showing up today.
Wait, let me say this, guys.
Okay.
You know, it kind of.
Can you show the video?
Oh, I'm not showing it. Oh, my bad, guys. Go back a bit.
These gentlemen have offered to take questions if you want to. We're not going to take questions based on the fact that we still have this current lawsuit going on. So I appreciate everybody showing up today.
Wait, let me say this, guys.
Okay.
You know, it kind of lost it just listening to Phil talk because I'm struggling. This is what I struggle with. You know, you try to be an ambassador of the league and also understand that God has blessed me and given me a platform and try to touch people, try to raise people, try to lift people up. And I don't know, I met a lot of fans, but I've always tried to be good with people. You know, I'm struggling now saying, do I not talk to people? What do I do? You know, because of this kind of a situation, I know I didn't do anything wrong. And I was trying to do everything right. So it's just, you know, though I say that, I got to come back to this moment. Had I not said to these guys, you know what, you cool guys, let's go outside and take that picture, you know, then they wouldn't have been right there with me. And that would have been a moment that I've had alone. And I know nobody's going to listen to what I say. Nobody, still, at least Marriott, don't want to hear what we have to say. Don't want to hear what I have to say. Don't even care to share it. So, you know, I just got emotional thinking about it because I'm struggling with that on what to do moving forward after I deal with all of this. That's all I want to say, guys.
You take care.
Yep. Well, you would think that Marriott, after watching the press conference, or at least Marriott's lawyers, after watching the press conference,
Seeing
Called.
30 to 1 behind, but
they called Marriott's PR director. Did you see what I see? Did you see what I just saw? Yeah, I saw it. Things ain't looking good for Marriott. No, it's not. But let's contact the financial department. Let's contact the CFO. Yo, what's up, Mr. or Mrs. CFO? What up? Cool. Listen, did you see the press conference? Yeah, I did. It's not looking good. Okay.
It's not
Well,
looking good, bruv.
it's not looking good, bruv. So let's maybe we should advise the person with the executive power, the person that can make the decision, that things are looking bad. And maybe if he hears it from the lawyers, the PR manager, the numbers guy, maybe we can convince him to just cooperate and take it as it is. And this is, guys, by the way, all imaginary because I don't know if it happened or not.
But you put the good
Just
thing.
trying.
You put the
I'm just trying to.
disclaimer in there, you know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make a good story, man.
People might
Just
be coming in halfway and thinking you're part of that team, and now you're telling everyone
I've seen him do it.
snitching on Marriott. That's not
It's a trap.
that's not the case.
So okay, so let's say at least the lawyers. Okay, let's take away the PR manager. Probably he was there as well, and the finance manager. But let's say the lawyers. The lawyers talked to their client, and they were like, "Marriott, listen, things aren't looking good. Maybe we should just share the video, right?" And Marriott would say, yeah, we've tried to avoid it long enough, but today, after seeing the tears on Michael Irvin's cheeks, we need to we need to disclose the information. Did that happen, KaiR? Did Marriott feel guilty or ashamed and decided to share the video
Hey.
anyway?
If you ever seen a corporate, well, anyway, they were like, "The hell out of here!" It's a great intro, by the way. That's a good intro. Michael's lawyers entered an emergency motion, and like you said, they were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna do that." They entered Marriott had his own response to that motion, where they say that the emergency motion is legally flawed and premature. He ignores that Marriott is not only complied with the court's order, we then open the show up with the court's order for
Yeah.
no reason, guys. Do you think? Put in the comments. Do you think these guys really comply to that court order?
Well,
Well,
go back to-
we'll talk about it later again because
well, maybe the judge, so the courts need to start applying the same strategy that we are applying with regards to the disclaimer. Not everyone can read, judges. Perhaps you should also have a video. Send
explain. Yeah.
send the judgment in a video where you just read the judgment. Maybe then they can understand their obligation under the law.
I just hope they're not Helen Keller. They don't have Helen Keller as the lawyers. That you're totally screwed. Anyway, guys. Shout out to Helen. Shout out to Helen. Legend. I love her. Never seen her, but love her.
Lover?
No. Let's not go that route. Well, don't get me into other stuff, bro. It's not looking good, bruv. Yeah, so according to Marriott, following the inspection, Marriott's counsel again invited plaintiff's counsel to confer in good faith as to the specific areas in which he believed the production was non-compliant. Marriott's counsel further represented that he would confer with Marriott regarding whether a copy of the video would be provided to the NFL and to the plaintiff pursuant to an appropriate protective order, while reiterating that Marriott's preeminent concern,
Preeminent.
preeminent, yeah, sorry, my bad. That's why we create videos. Concern is the safety and privacy of its employees, guests, and several of whom appear on the video and whose interests may be compromised by public disclosure of the video.
So Marriott is woke.
Well, Marriott is trying to protect, and I understand that. You're trying to protect the privacy of everyone involved.
Well,
However, it's 2023, and you can redact whatever you want. So don't try to play those games over here, boy.
yeah, I would say Marriott is not. I don't think Marriott is protecting their privacy law. I think
They're using
Marriott
it.
is using
Yeah.
that argument not to disclose the video, but Marriott is forgetting one thing: that they are the ones who notified the NFL of an incident without conducting conducting a reasonable and appropriate investigation in the matter. So they made it public. And now, I mean, I can understand you want to protect the identity of people, but is it fair that Michael Irvin's name needs to be dragged through the mud while you or your employee's identity remains confidential? What message does that send to the outside world? That you can start a bogus case against a public person and not
Even a case accusation.
an accusation, a public accusation, well, an accusation that would have public consequences, while your identity remains private. It doesn't seem fair. If you want to go public, we're going to take it public. And I think
And they further, I'm not gonna show, I'm gonna go to the end after this, but they talk during this response basically saying that they used Rule 34, and that is according to Rule 34, you're allowed to show instead of copying, but they are totally misinterpreting on purpose the rule, or using the rule like Archie already said. They are using the rule as they are using the privacy speech.
yeah.
And then they close out the response with, in short, because Marriott fully complied with court's order and produced the video according to produced the video recording.
One thing here. Did you say what? Did you mention what? Why Marriott is claiming that it complied with the court's order?
No, I didn't mention exactly. Do you want to mention that?
Yeah. So because the lawyer mentioned it in the video, but we didn't play that part. But basically, Marriott is saying, we're not gonna share. Although the court order says that we should turn over the video, we will not do that. What we will do is we will invite you, and with you, I mean Michael Irvin personally and the
And his
lawyers,
counsel,
but
and maximum 3 people.
a maximum of 3 people. So that would mean if Irvin was there, that would have left room for two more people. But three people went. It was those were three lawyers went to the so they went on the deadline at 5 o'clock to the opposing counsels, the opposing law firms, the opposing parties lawyers, to in their minds get a copy of the video. And when they got there, they were told that they couldn't give them a copy of the videos, but that they were able to sit and watch the video. So that's what they did.
They gave him a copy though.
They didn't give him a copy.
The copy was watch it with your eyes. Copy it with your eyes.
Do you have a photographic memory?
Copy it with your eyes.
Press
that's
record,
enough.
mofo.
Press record mode, boy. No, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
They didn't give him a copy. They didn't give him a hard copy. They told him watch it, and that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah, and that's all you're gonna get, and that's why Marriott is claiming that they did comply with the court order, because they made the video available. They didn't send it over, because I think the court order clearly stated that they had to send a copy of the video to the lawyers of Michael Irvin. But they are claiming that Marriott is claiming that they did, or that it did comply with the court order, because he made it available for them so they could come and watch the video. And Michael didn't come.
Show up.
Michael didn't show up, so it's Michael's fault that he didn't watch the video. That's insane.
So wild. It's a wild statement. But so like already said, they say they have complied. They complied with the court order in accordance to Rule 34. That's the rule that they use, and they also put some examples in the response. And they basically state that the court should deny the plaintiff's motion should the court be inclined. So here comes the but. Should the court be inclined to order that Marriott produce a copy of the video recordings to the plaintiff, Marriott requests that the court enter a protective order providing that plaintiff, one, may not use any information produced by Marriott in discovery other than the purpose of litigating this case. Two, may disclose such information only to plaintiffs and attorneys of record. And three, may not publicly disclose such information. So, Judge, I might have not really complied with you, but if you're thinking to put another order upon us, please take into consideration that you should think about this stuff and take it into your order. Put it into your order so you
can limit the way the video will be used and exploited by the lawyers. Because again, Marriott does not want the video to become public.
All right, today
oh man, jeez, that was not good. Anyway, guys, when the judge read that response to the emergency motion by Irving's lawyers, I think maybe it's just a feeling, my feeling. he might have been watching. He might have had this video on while he was reading that motion. You guys might have known this one, might have heard of it, but I'm gonna play it for you guys to see that sometimes, in order to find out, you might have to. Let's look at it. Let's look at it.
How much do we want to find out? So let's say in this case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. Well, there's going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
Instead of staying at 0, Marriott and his lawyers thought we're gonna go to level 10.
17.
Well, 17, well, whatever level above 10.
That's crazy.
That's crazy because what happened is the judge was like, you fuck around. I might have not used that word, shouldn't have used that word, but
Maybe
we're
not.
already 1 hour in, so we might not be flagged for that.
Well, yeah, let's continue.
But I did find out. As the federal judge said on Friday, that Marriott blatantly violated the court order. Judge Amos Mazant ordered the company to submit an unredacted video to Irvin's lawyer by 5 p.m.
On Friday, which
on
La-
Friday. That was
yeah, so last Friday.
Friday, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they don't work on Saturday, so we won't get a press conference on that. But he also, oh my God, he also declined. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. He also declined to prevent Irvin from making the video public. So Mary is cooking himself. They're cooking themselves.
Yeah.
Usually we have a soundbite for this. Here at Double Touch Show, we usually use
Ice Cube.
that, guys. The reference is to Ice Cube's song "No Vaseline."
Yeah.
Usually you use that to refer to someone doing something to someone else.
Yeah.
Marriott is no Vaseline themselves.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before. What are we
Don't let that
doing?
shit happen to me though.
Well, that won't happen to me. That's for sure.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And it continues. That's the penalty you face, Judge Mazan said. A more tactful version of, well,
F around and find out.
we showed you already. Judge Mazan said that he was dumbfounded by the strings Marriott attached to its disclosure of the video, allowing the attorney, Levi McCathern, to see it without giving him a copy. I'm not accustomed, as a judge, people violating my orders. Oh man, this ain't looking good. You don't want judges to say stuff like that. Do you remember, RJ? We talked about it in the previous show. They filed a motion to move this case to another court.
Yeah, in our
Do you
district.
think at this moment that that's ever gonna happen? The judge is like, "Oh, you want to violate? You gonna disrespect me in my house?
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
This is crazy. I
And
don't
the, la-
know
and
who."
the last thing, as you said, the last thing that you want is the a judge to get mad at you, because a judge is supposed to be impartial, right?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't matter who's sitting on also who's the plaintiff and who's the so who the parties are. But when you do something like that, a judge will, because judges are humans too, people. The judge will feel like you don't respect. Is Mazant is it a man?
The judge is Amos. I think it sounds like, okay, I can look it up real quick. Amos Mazant.
A man.
It sounds like he's
Yeah. So a
they're being
judge.
cooked, man. Look at Amos right here, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And what does that tell you? It tells
Amos
you,
got
as
the-
a judge, as a man, you're not respecting me. Not only as a judge, I'm a man before I'm a judge. The judge is saying you're not respecting me as a man. You're thinking that you are above the law. And what did Michael Irvin say in his press conference, referring to the
Thinks they're above the law.
they think some people think that they're above the law, and he compared it with the incident of what's the name again, KaiR?
Emmett Till.
Emmett Till. How just a white woman, would scream ape.
Why did you use that one?
I was trying to take the R out, but I made it worse.
You made it worse. Oh my god. What the heck? Just say, let's continue. She said, you went from, oh man, and you made it ape. Now we're going different routes. You went from one lane to a total different lane. Oh man, grapefruit.
Grape.
That's what he's trying to tell, guys. He's not trying to say
Let's do this again. Let's do this again.
grapefruit. Call it grapefruit.
Basically, that a man can just basically saying that a man, so just like back then, a white woman. Come on, KaiR. I need you to be locked in, man. Just like a man,
Maybe they didn't.
a white, yeah, I saw. So just like back then, a white woman could just yell grape and everyone would believe it, and they would drag the supposed perpetrator, the supposed suspect, through the mud and put him at his final resting place, hanging in a tree. And maybe the hanging, and what Michael Irving said, maybe the hanging is not taking place literally, but it is taking place in a different way, without there ever having been a trial to determine the innocence or guilt of the particular person. And it's always done by people who think that they are above the law. And Marriott, by disobeying the clear order of the judge, is sending a message to the judge that it believes that it is higher or that it is above the law and above a judge's order.
The judge thinks the same because he says the following. I'll be very candid. You haven't shown so the attorney Celeste Creswell says to who represents Marriott insisted that during the hearing that Marriott respects the court's order. But the judge replied basically, you haven't shown that. That's the reason we're here. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that. No, I'm not happy about it. Oh, am I happy about it? No, I'm not happy about it. It seems like Marriott just looked at my order and didn't want to produce the video.
Yeah.
It's not looking good, bruv. At least for Marriott.
It's not. Definitely
They are
not.
getting themselves in more trouble than they have to. Just give it up, guys. Sometimes we have in the past, in the long past, we created a video. We were doing weekly thoughts of the day.
Yeah.
And I might refer to that video where we basically were trying to give knowledge to
Yeah.
people. And one of the shows was, huh? You want to say
No,
something?
no, continue.
One of those random thought of the day, we talked about taking an L and keep it moving. Sometimes you gotta take the L and try to get yourself out of the L and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Don't take yourselves further in it.
The sooner you accept, the sooner you can get out.
Guys, we are ahead of the game. Subscribe down. I think
Yeah.
we've been ahead. We've been ahead. People don't know yet.
Yeah.
We are
We're
big.
great, but people don't know yet.
They don't know yet. Just guys, subscribe so you can say I was a believer in the beginning. We will release some exclusive merch for the people who at a certain point we gotta talk about this
Yeah.
in behind the scenes, but we're gonna release some exclusive merch for you guys that are the day ones. So
Yeah.
but yeah, RJ, I think at this point we have clearly seen what this saga is about, this part at least, this chapter. And I think we can end it here because they
Yeah.
don't want to produce that video. The judge is mad. They will have to produce it. And I think the next show we can continue from this part.
Yeah.
Can
Definitely.
you
So
summarize a little
Yeah.
bit what we talked about today?
yes, for sure. So guys, in today's show, we talked about the events that happened after the live show we did on Monday, so last Monday. If you haven't checked out that show, we really recommend it because we basically broke down the initial part of the legal proceedings. But we talked about in today's show, we talked about the developments in the Michael Irvin case. We were expecting to talk about the video that would have been released. Apparently, that hasn't taken place yet. We need to see what will happen. We need to see how Marriott will react. But one thing we know is that the Michael Irvin expressed in the press conference that he was very disappointed with the way Marriott was handling the situation. It seems like Marriott doesn't want to listen to what really happened on that particular night. The lawyer of Michael Irving's said in a press conference that when he got there at the deadline, so when he got to Marriott's lawyer's office on the day of the day and time of the deadline to retrieve a copy of the video of the footage that shows what actually happened on that particular evening in that specific Marriott lobby. He was told that he could not take a copy, but that he was invited to sit and watch a video, which he did. And the next day, or perhaps it was the day after, he held a press conference and basically gave a play-by-play of what actually happened that night. Basically, we can summarize it by saying that allegedly, Michael Irvin. So allegedly, there were the conversation that took place between Michael and the employee that claims that Michael did her harm. The conversation lasted a minute and a half, 90 seconds more or less. There was on 4 occasions during that conversation, there was contact between Michael's accuser and Michael, 2 of which were the handshake. So the handshake at the beginning of the conversation, of the interaction, and the handshake at the end of the interaction. At one particular point in time, Michael, as they were talking, Michael being Michael, just touched the woman on her elbow, on the outside part of her elbow, if I'm not mistaken. And the other side, the last, the final or the remaining contact took place when Michael laughed at something, bended over, and basically touched the other elbow on the outside. So on the outside of his accuser. Now, Marriott claimed firstly that it did comply with the judge's order because it did made the video available. Marriott claims that it didn't send it, it didn't share it because it has the obligation to protect the privacy of its employee, but so that's why it didn't send the video, a copy of the video, to the other lawyer, to Irvin's lawyers. But Marriott claims that it did comply because it invited Irvin and 2 other people to come and watch the footage. So by making it available in that way, Marriott claimed that it did comply with the order. The judge said, "Mofo, you think I was born yesterday? Is you disrespecting me? Put some respect on my name." The judge
Why you
said
do
no.
Amos like that, man?
What did you say?
Why you do Amos like that, man? Amos doesn't talk like that. I'm just kidding. Continue.
Well, we don't know, but
You might be right. He might be talking as a lawyer in his day job. It might be.
as a judge, yeah, and at night as a homeboy, but but
No
the
affiliation.
but the lawyer, the judge said, "Wait a minute. This is the first time in my extensive career as a judge that I've seen a party blatantly neglect or set aside my order, that blatantly ignored my order and still refused to share a copy of the video with the lawyer, with the opposing counsel's lawyer, the opposing party's lawyer." Marriott asked the judge, he said, "Judge, even if you decide that we should send a copy. We believe that we should redact certain parts of it, maybe blur some faces for privacy reasons. The judge said you're going to send a copy of the original video without any blurs, without any redaction to Irvin's lawyer. Finally, Marriott said, well, if you're going to do it, then you have to restrict the way that they use it. So you have to order that they are not allowed to share it with the public. And the judge said, that's not going to happen. You have to send the original, and what Michael and his lawyers decide to do with the video is up to them, which is not surprising, seeing as how Marriott is the one that made this a public affair. Marriott is the one that called Michael Irvin's employer and got him banned from the NFL Super Bowl weekend broadcast team. Marriott was the one that made this a public affair, and so there's no reason why we should let Michael suffer the consequences publicly for something that apparently has no basis, while your employee that made the accusation so that her identity remains private. Or at least that's what I believe was the reason why the judge rejected to limit the way the Mike's lawyers can use the footage. So Marriott needs to deliver. Hopefully, in the next show, we can talk about the actual video, because we thought that we would talk about the video footage in this show. That didn't happen. Hopefully, we can do it in the next show. But I guess time will tell. Stay locked in to our channel, because we will definitely touch on this topic once more, and we'll probably do so until the case has reached its conclusion. So, with that being said, KaiR, I think I've covered I've covered the essence of what we discussed today.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we'll see what will happen. I'm not gonna say anything else. We'll see what will happen. It's sometimes choices we make, even in the corporate, if you're doing in the corporate job, you gotta be very wary of
How you move.
how you move. Marriott basically decided we're gonna throw it all away. We're not gonna be accountable, nothing. We're not gonna share the video. We're gonna refuse or ignore the judge order and do whatever we want to, which is kind of mind-boggling to me. At the end of the day, we'll see what will happen, and I don't think this is very. This will, with the latest move they made, it will not work in their favor during the judgment.
Nope, for sure.
Michael,
For sure.
10%, man. Give us some points, man. You don't need that on 100. That 100 is coming his way anyway. Guys, it's just a joke, of course.
We won 2
start-
points.
Huh?
It's a joke. We won 2 points.
Well, the way you're saying it sounds like I'm not gonna say it.
Sound like a 2-point conversion, man. What did you think? Never mind, guys.
I don't think. I don't know anything. Don't remember. Don't forget that, guys.
Am I being recorded? Nah, man. Word. I don't know, man. I don't know anybody, man.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, we hope you enjoyed the show. I think it's time for us to conclude the show. And we conclude it as usual by saying thank you to all our viewers, everyone that's watching this pre-recorded live show, as well as those watching the rebroadcast. Remember, guys, whatever your thoughts are, please let us know in the comments below. Remember to rate the show by pressing the like button. Yeah, rate the show by pressing the like button. Remember to follow us on our socials at Double Touch Show on Instagram and Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. The subscriptions are definitely heading in the right direction. We want to reach 1,000 subs by the end of June. The way things are going, it's not impossible, but with the current rate, so the goal is not impossible with the current rate that that people are subscribing. We won't get there. So we would really appreciate if you just help us out. If you've watched the show, if you believe that we have provided value to you, or that we're either in an entertaining way or an informative way, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us to get monetized. As KR always says at the end of the show.
But I can only show you the door.
Well, this door ain't looking good for Marriott, man. I'm sorry, guys. Or at least I'm sorry if you're of the team Marriott.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it short today.
Okay, it's the door that leads to the pool. Let's have a healthy conversation in the comment section below, guys. We will definitely see each other in the next show. Stay tuned. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.